Dude, so the highest fucking pollen count in Georgia fucking history was today. Like, in the existence of the entire fucking state. And I was cutting my grass in it, and I would hit certain patches, and I would just be engulfed in, like, fucking showers of green fucking clouds. I pulled my feet. It looked like I had a sunburn, but it was just like a yellow fucking farmer's tan. Like the Incredible Hulk, but like fucking, like I drank too much Mellow Yellow or something.
That's why I'm sitting here like I keep itching my eyes because I was out in it today and like everything is yellow and I feel like it gets in your nose, it gets in your eye. Dude, it's
and then like brutal. After I cut the grass, I like took the leaf blower and I blowed off the porch and everything, and it was completely clean. Within 15 minutes, all of it was back, and I want to wash my car so goddamn bad, but there's no fucking point.
It's not even gonna matter. Just let the rain do it tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
Yeah. I realized today, like driving around and just seeing the amount of pollen on literally everything, not just cars. Like everything was just yellow today. Yeah, it was.
That's the thing. They said that it's not just high pollen count. It's like the highest pollen count in the history of the state of Georgia. So as long as Georgia has existed, today was the highest pollen count of all time. And spring just fucking started. Spring hasn't even sprung yet, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Jesus hasn't even risen yet. We haven't even fucking done Easter yet. You know, Jesus is still in the goddamn cave right now, and we're covered in pollen, dude.
Take your fucking pollen back.
But anyway, all right. So I guess after a 2-week hiatus, we're fucking back. So welcome back to this, that,
and the other.
I'm Joey.
I'm Ian.
And like I said, we've been going a little bit. Some things have been happening. I officially now am a roofing salesman. So if you live in the state of Georgia, you need a full roof, you need any repairs, I'm your fucking guy, dude.
Holler at your boy.
So, and I have learned, when you get into that kind of business world, there's a lot of, my personality doesn't have to change, but a lot of things in my life that I've never done before, I'm now being introduced to. Like, I have a company car and I have a gas card and I'm going to country clubs to play golf. Like I'm going to play. I never played golf before in my life, and last Friday I played golf for the very first time. Thought I was going to be terrible. Turned out I was actually really fucking good. My boss gave me a set of his old Callaway clubs, which are very good clubs. I found out were actually kind of expensive, so kudos to him for that. Yeah, that shit was fucking sick. And then, but anyways, we're out there playing golf. I'm doing pretty well. All of a sudden, my boss isn't feeling good and doesn't want to continue the back nine. What really happened is he looked at the motherfucking scorecard. Yeah. That's what happened. But anyways, so
this man shows up at my house like, yo, you got to get into golf. You got to get you some clubs, dude. And I'm like, man, I grew up in this shit. I grew up on golf courses.
Hold on. There's a fucking stink bug on my wall. I can see it on my camera. Give me just a second.
We've got to pause, ladies and gentlemen.
Motherfucker.
Joey's on a mission to kill a bug. Oh.
I got him.
Get it.
He doesn't stand a chance.
He's good.
At first, I thought it was a spider. I don't fuck with spiders. I've been calling my wife. I don't like spiders at all.
Joey's big ass got to call his wife for a spider.
I don't fucking do spiders. Speaking of my wife, you might hear my wife yell at my twin daughters tonight because they're just not wanting to go to bed.
Never do.
But yeah, so there's been some changes in my life. Really, we took a hiatus because of something that happened with you. If you want to share that, the floor is now yours.
Yeah, I actually had a seizure for the first time in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I was feeling kind of weird one day. Didn't really know what was going on with my body. Definitely didn't get much sleep the night before. Have been stressed about a few things in life that maybe or might not needed to be stressed about. But just kind of was not feeling right in the head that day. Came home and we were eating dinner, and I just kept saying, I don't feel good. And then I blacked out, essentially. Apparently I fell over, started hitting my head. My wife could tell you my wife was here with me. Thank fucking whoever is out there that she was here with me. But yeah, it happened. I woke up, and essentially the next thing I knew that EMTs were in my house, and I was like, what the hell is happening? Like,
Yeah.
who are these people in my house? Why are you in my house?
So that was the first thing you remembered? Like that was when you kind of came to, was when you were getting strapped to the fucking...
No, not strapped to the thing. Like, we were sitting, they put me in my couch, or like sitting on my couch.
Okay.
So that's kind of where my memory kicked in, was them being there, like, hey, like, are you here? Like, you know, but apparently I can't, we haven't exactly pinpointed like the amount of time that I was down for, but I guess she was on the phone with you when it happened, or was happening.
Yeah, it was a wild phone call.
Yeah, but I
See, initially when she was talking to me, I was worried it was a stroke, and talking to your mother, talking to your brother, talking to everyone else, we all initially thought it was a stroke. So that's why we were all very concerned.
Yeah. That was my kind of initial thought when it all happened. 'Cause that's, I don't want to say like, I could have pictured that happening more than a seizure, you know, just because my brain and the way I live my life is very crazy. But,
yeah.
When they said I had a seizure, I just was kind of like, okay, like, what do I need to do to take, like, what are the precautions that I need to take? First off, why did it happen? Like, why did this happen in my brain and whatever was happening? And like, what can I do moving forward to maybe never have this happen again? Hopefully never has to happen again.
Yeah.
But what's crazy and all of, you know, like they told me lack of sleep and less stress were the main factors.
Which, how the fuck do you cure that? You know what I'm saying?
Right. And
like, what the fuck do you do there?
And you're telling that to somebody who fucking works in the service industry. And like, you know, that is what the life is. And it's crazy, like, to think that according to the doctors, this happens to 1 in 10 people. Is wild.
Okay, so that's actually pretty fucking common.
Yes, exactly. Like 1 in 10 people apparently have a seizure.
Like a stress-related seizure is what they're saying?
I guess like, stress, or like, well, mine was stress and lack of sleep was the main thing. But they just pretty much were, you know, like, stay hydrated. And I kept like, you know, I'm vegetarian, so it's not like I might eat like shit sometimes, but for the majority, like, our meals are nothing but veggies and stuff like that. So like, we don't eat terribly. So it was the big thing.
You're not getting all that seizure fighting shit that they give you in chicken, you know?
Oh yeah, I guess so, right?
Yeah.
But I made some life changes. I did some things that I needed to do.
Like what pointers do they give you to try to, I mean, besides lowering your stress level and getting more sleep, like what advice do they give you aside from that? That's it?
That's it.
That's it?
Like, literally.
Like, oh, now you're even more stressed, like, because you have the threat of a seizure in the back of your head. So now you're stressed about having another seizure. So now you just made it fucking worse.
Exactly. And I don't feel like that kind of thing is happening. You know what I mean? Like, I know the way I felt on that day. I know the way my body felt. I know the way my brain felt. And like, it wasn't my normal, like, oh, I'm just stoned kind of like, oh, I feel weird, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I know my body, and I know the difference in the way my body feels being stoned or not stoned. Like, my body felt weird that entire day. Yeah. And I was having full conversations with people and like having face-to-faces and just straight up like blacking out for like a second, like just a split, just like a very quick, but like just enough to where like in the middle of a conversation, I would literally be like, oh, hey dude. Yeah. I'm here. Sorry. Like,
yeah,
but very odd things. But again, like I said,
did they tell you that you have to stop smoking crack?
I was not ready for you to say the end part. I was ready for you to like stop smoking weed or something like that.
Yeah.
But no, they
So crack is still on the table.
Motherfucker. No, but what is kind of funny though, like so to anybody out there that smokes weed, the people in the emergency room, when they found out I smoke weed and like habitually smoke weed, they were like, look, dude, like maybe you got some bad weed or something. Like maybe this like weed like messed you up somehow. Like maybe you got some different weed from somebody.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, like I've been dealing with the same dude. Oh, like nothing
but
has
also,
changed.
I mean, there was because I mean, I also partake. There was a brief moment a couple of months ago where there was like an outbreak of fentanyl laced marijuana, and it was just in circulation. I highly doubt we got our hands on any of that, but it was,
I hope not.
No, it was rampant. It was like a big thing, actually quite recently, but I mean,
that's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, it's awful. I mean,
And
now they're
also,
trying to
like,
make weed kill you. What the fuck's wrong with people?
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's pretty shitty that you're doing this to like fucking weed.
Yeah.
Like,
and me, like I've also like ever since having kids and stuff, I've toned down my marijuana usage a lot. Like I'll go days without it because like I don't want my house smelling like weed. I don't want to smell like weed. I don't want to drop my kids off and my car smells like weed, so they smell like weed at school. You know, so like
for sure.
It's literally one of those things like. I only enjoy night outside when I'm about to go to bed or play video games for a few hours. But like once you have 3 kids, man, like the people who do it and they're successful at parenting, more power to you. But like those days of waking up and getting stoned and sitting on your couch are just out the fucking window. Because what happens is I go to bed and no matter what, those kids are up at 6 a.m, pulling my hair, wanting waffles, and I better get the fuck up. Like it's just how it is, you know? Yeah. That's why I pretty much quit drinking. Like, I mean, when we do the podcast, I'll have a beer or two, but like on the grand spectrum of things, I rarely recreationally drink anymore, you know, when I used to drink a lot. I used to drink every day. It's one of those things like waking up in the morning with your kids, a hangover is not fucking fun at all. It's just not. And it matures you in different ways. And like at first you're a little more cranky, you're a little bit more irritable because it throws a wrench in like who you thought you were as a person, but you got to evolve. You got to get used to it. But like, I have nothing against weed. I have nothing against drinking, but just like know your limits, know how to do it. And for me, I just can't be that person anymore. Do I love weed? Yes. Do I like drinking? Yeah, I fucking love it. But it just doesn't fucking fit into my life the way it doesn't fit into my life the way it does anymore. And I think that's the difference between like active addiction and maturity. You know what I'm saying? A little bit.
Yeah, I get you.
Because like I truly thought I was an alcoholic and thought I was a stoner, but really I just like to party. Because once I had to turn it off, I could turn it off. You know, I feel like if I was like deeply rooted in an alcohol addiction, I wouldn't be able to have turned it off the way I did, which is fortunate. You know,
but also I feel like you having kids changed your life a lot as well.
Well, it's either going to change you or it's not. And that's the problem is like you can either keep being the same person and what's going to happen is you're going to be a weekend dad or you're not going to see your kids at all. So like you have to, if you want to be a successful parent and build a bond with your kids and have them love and respect you and feel protected by you, you got to fucking show up. You got to be a fucking dad, you know, like there's you have no other choice.
Preach that shit. Preach
you know?
Preach it.
I mean, that's what it is. Like when you have a child, there's this unspoken bond where, and it kind of proves to you who you are as a man, because like you're taking in, you're pledging fatherhood to this child, and you're saying, no matter what, no matter the choices, the mistakes, or anything you make in life, I am your dad. I am here to protect and nurture you. And that's what you're supposed to fucking do. So if you're not ready for that, figure something else out. But if you're going to be in that kid's life, that's the obligation you fucking have. Like, that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
So,
agree.
You know.
Preach that shit. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But other than that, I'm very glad you're okay. I was very worried. I was calling your phone non-fucking stop. When I finally could get in touch with you, that's when I chilled out. Because I was just going to hop in my car at, what was it? It was like 11 o'clock at night. So the real reason I was even up, because I'm usually in bed by that, we had recorded a podcast episode the day before, but my video file got corrupt. So we were like, all right,
your
we have
video
to,
file, my audio file.
Yeah, and your audio got corrupt.
Yeah.
So we're like, well, fuck, we have to record a podcast tonight. We don't have a choice because we have to put it out this week. And then my phone started ringing, and I thought it was you, but it was your wife, and that's when I was alerted to everything that was going on. So after that, we were like, all right, well, let's just fucking take it easy. Let's let the podcast come back to us. Let's not rush it. I'm starting a new job. You're figuring things out. Like, let's just take it fucking easy. But now we're back.
We're back.
Now we're back. You know, now we're back.
back.
Ian's still alive. He didn't have a stroke. He can smoke as much crack as he wants. You know, we're fucking good. We're good.
Golden.
We're good. But
I was very touched, and I just want to say thank you to everybody. Whether you listen to this podcast or whatever, anybody that reached out to me, thank you so much. The amount of love, the amount of gratitude, the amount of just people just reaching out to say, feel better, get well, like, I'm here with you, homie. Like, anybody that reached out, thank you
people
so
who
much.
People who you haven't talked to in fucking years were reaching out to you, and
dude,
that's great. When you like
love,
understand
dude.
how
It's
loved
love.
you are, you know that's an incredible feeling. You
was-
can't
it
buy
was-
that, you know.
Yeah, it was a very good feeling because, like, yeah, in a moment like that, like, one, I fucking hate being in hospitals. So two, like, having to be there and like all this shit was going on, and I literally like having all these people reach out and hearing these things coming from people, like, it felt amazing. Like, it really did. And thank you to every single person that did. Like, I love you guys. Thank you. Seriously.
That's what's up. Literally everybody he knows.
I mean, the majority, like, like a lot of people reached out that day, or progressively through the days. You know,
And
felt good.
one thing, when I figured out how much time you were gonna have on your hands, I was like, hey man, there's this show on Hulu you have to fucking watch. And if you guys haven't watched this, it's this show called Paradise. And it is literally the greatest TV show I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. Dude, how fucking good is that show?
It's fucking amazing. Like,
Yeah.
I kind of was sleeping on it when you first told me about it, but dude, after pretty much episode 1, I was just like,
dude, it was a
all right,
show that
I'm
I
hooked.
lost sleep over. Like, I would show up to work the next day dragging ass just because I couldn't stop pressing play. Like, I had to.
Yeah.
And it's one of those, like, you think you got it figured out. You think you know what's about to happen. Nope. You're not even fucking close. You're not even in the realm of what's actually going on in that fucking show. And that's usually not my style of show. When I found out, like, oh, it's about a Secret Service agent. Because that when Ian asked me what it's about, I was like, all I can tell you is that it's about a Secret Service agent and shit hits the fan. If I tell you anything else, it's going to give the entire show away. Like, it's going to give the twist of the first episode away if I tell you anything else besides that.
Yeah.
But I can attest to it is single-handedly the best TV show I've probably seen in the last 10 years. Like, amazing.
dude, it was pretty fucking good.
Amazing actors, everything was cast.
Yeah.
James Marsden as the president is fucking amazing in that
Dude,
show.
love James Marsden.
Sterling Brown is an incredible fucking actor. Give him his flowers. And literally, there were so many actors in there that I'd never seen before. Every single one of them hit their mark. Every single person played their character perfectly. There's not a bad actor on that show. The scripts are written perfectly. The cinematography is perfect. The sets are
and the
amazing.
way they lead you to believe, like, maybe it was this person. Oh, maybe this is what went down.
Yeah.
Maybe this is. Oh my. Dude,
No, it's fucking
every
incredible.
single episode, I was like, no, you're not ending it like this. Like, we can't end on the like, dude. Phenomenal show. Phenomenal
I love it.
show.
I love it.
And like the thing about it too, like the way, even like talking to people on how to describe it, like everybody's like, oh, it kind of has this vibe, or like the majority of the people
it
that
has
you
a vibe
talk
of
to,
its own, dude.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people have told me like, oh, it gives off like a Lost vibe, and I'm like,
Yeah. It's like
yes
no, it
and
doesn't.
no.
It doesn't give off a lot of. It gives off if M. Night Shyamalan still wrote good movies. That's the vibe it gives off.
damn, okay.
I mean, I'm not wrong. If I'm wrong, prove me wrong. But I'm not.
No, I mean, dude, especially we're not gonna do spoilers, ladies and gentlemen. We're not gonna spoil anything.
How long has it been
But-
out? Like, at what point can we actually talk about it?
Can we
'Cause
talk about spoilers?
I feel like there's a grace period, because if it's been out for like 6 months, you know, and you haven't watched
6
it yet,
months.
that's
Yeah,
kind of
but
on
I know
you.
it has. There's
You
no
know?
way. No,
Has
it
it?
hasn't been out 6 months. No, the last
I don't know.
episode came out, I think, like a month ago, maybe, or something.
Really?
Not
Okay.
even. I don't even think it's been
Okay.
that.
Well, you got some time.
Yeah, but got some time. We're not going to spoil anything, but hell of an ender.
Yeah.
hell of an ender.
Yeah,
I
fucking
literally
insane.
texted Joey. I was like, no fucking
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah, because I didn't
screaming.
Well, on the second to last episode, I figured it out, but I didn't figure it out to that extent. You know, like I figured out who was who.
Yeah.
And then I kind of put it together, but I didn't figure everything out until the last episode. But dude, season 2 is going to be off the fucking chain the way they ended for season 1.
Yeah, I do like how they. I was kind of skeptical. See, and this is where it's going to get hard to not have spoilers or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I was kind of skeptical about the events that Sterling Brown's character was taking to get to that initial point.
Mm-hmm.
But the way they ended it and like the way it all just kind of came together about everything.
Yeah.
I kind of was just like, oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm like, let's roll. Season 2. Come on.
And there's a few other shows I've tried to get into, but nothing got me by the hooks like that show did. Like I've tried to watch Severance, tried to watch Deli Boys. I've tried to watch a few different things, and
Deli
it's just,
Boys is great, dude.
Deli Boys is great,
Deli
but
Boys
like
is sick.
Deli Boys is great, but like I watched it, or I tried to watch it right after I finished Paradise. So it's like going from Paradise into Deli Boys. It just I just wasn't interested. I was like, well, you know, this isn't gonna do for me what that show did. But Deli Boys is great. It's funny, you know. It does what it's supposed to do.
Me and Shannon's kind of like whatever show that we'll put on like whatever, you know, like whatever time has been King of the Hill recently.
Oh yeah,
Like
we're an Office family. Like
Okay,
if we're going to bed or we just need background noise or something, we put on The Office or Big Bang. We love Big Bang. People can say what they want to about Big Bang. We fucking love Big Bang Theory.
Dude, honestly, I've never seen an episode.
I've seen every episode like 10 times.
we have watched Young Sheldon though.
Oh, we have Big Bang Theory trading cards actually.
Nice, hell yeah.
Yeah, I found them at a comic book shop and I bought it for my wife as a fucking joke. And this was something that somebody sold to the comic book shop, but they took time because it was like categorized. It was in a laminated fucking binder, like a trading card binder. Like somebody put some effort into this fucking Big Bang Theory goddamn trading card thing. So I bought it for her. I think it was only like $3, and she laughed at it, and it's in the closet somewhere. I don't know where the fuck it is.
Sick.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Awesome. See how much she appreciates what I do for her? Go through all this fucking trouble. No, she's great. I love her.
Yeah, that's just I never, like I said, we watched Young Sheldon. Like I really liked Young Sheldon. But
Young Sheldon's good. It's good.
But we never watched Big Bang. I don't know why. But dude, Paradise.
Yeah. But I'm
the
also
remix of the theme song that they did.
Yeah.
Dude, that was pretty sick too. I like.
But I'm also
dulled down.
I'm more of like now I'm just a phone scroller. Like if I got time, I'm on TikTok or I'm on Instagram or I'm on YouTube. Like I'm more of a phone content in my hand person, you know, like, or I'm watching sports. That's it. I'm just basic. I'm easy. I'm Sunday morning, you know.
I mean, you know what I do. I mean, you know what shit I watch. I watch wrestling majority of the time when I have time to watch something.
And now now I got to learn how to be better at golf. So I'm watching golf videos all the time. I'm hitting golf balls around in my backyard, you know, setting up little targets and shit.
Did you get a little net thing for it?
No. I just like take out my 9-iron or my sand wedge or something, and I like set a target in the backyard and just hit to it, you know.
Sick. Nice.
I'm probably gonna buy a putting green and set it up in this room over here, you know. I mean, why the fuck not, dude?
Very office-like.
I mean, I'm at the age now where, you know, I gotta pick my identity, and I think golf is in that identity, you know. It just is.
Hell yeah,
you know?
dude. Yeah, you'll be the take your friends out on golf on the weekends.
Yeah, dude. And the thing is, like, once you like tell your friends that like you play golf, then you're like astounded at the amount of friends you have that play golf too that you just didn't fucking know play golf. Literally all of my friends play golf. All of them.
Nice.
All
I mean, I'm sure also where we grew up kind of probably helped.
Well, like
I
I said, I grew up in Jonesboro. And Jonesboro High School, even though it was in the middle of the fucking hood, we had a championship golf team. Like this hood ass school had a championship golf team. So a lot of my friends from Jonesboro fucking grew up playing golf on the championship fucking golf team for Jonesboro High School, which is so random. It's such a bizarre thing for that school to have, but we have it.
I mean, I don't know. Isn't there a bunch of like gnarly golf courses out in Jonesboro and stuff like that?
I mean,
I mean, dude, there's got to be like I don't
Lake
want to say it's
Lake Spivey Country Club has a golf course.
Yeah,
and that's
see,
about
like,
it.
that's
But I
out
mean,
there.
every city has every city. I mean, even Eastlake, like fucking, you know, in the middle of the fucking hood in East Atlanta, there's a fucking golf course. You know, you got to dodge bullets while you're at the goddamn tee box. You know what I'm saying? It's wild. It's just weird. I didn't know that golf had that broad of an audience, but now it's even to the point where like if golf is on TV, I'll fucking watch golf and shit. You know, it's so fucking lame.
Gotcha, dude.
It's
Gotcha.
dumb.
I
It's
mean,
dumb.
what? I watch wrestling. What shit can I talk? You know?
Yeah, I mean, I would wrestle if I could, but I don't. I haven't gotten there. But also, some more big news. Something very exciting. Ian and I are going to see in concert the Insane Clown Posse, bro. And for that, I will open this Faygo I've got right here to celebrate my love for the Insane Clown Posse. And it's so fucking good. So good. I got 2 cases of this in my
Joey
fridge right
calls
now.
me up and says, "Hey, look, my wife won't go to see Insane Clown Posse with me. You'll go with me, right?" And I was like, "Okay, yeah, for sure." And as I say that, his wife is in the background. "Don't go with him, Ian. Don't do it."
But even with that being said, I purchased the tickets. I took a screenshot. I sent it to him, and that's when I think reality set in. I think he thought I was just talking shit until I sent him a picture of the receipt of the fucking tickets.
I did.
And he responds, 2 words. He responds to me, "I'm scared."
These are correct statements. And they still hold true now.
But yeah, I mean,
I'm almost 40 years old, and for some reason, that's always been one like I've never really like. I don't know why. I've just never gone to see ICP before.
I feel like it's something we should have done in the past. Just
That's what I'm
like,
saying.
I feel like in
That's
the
what I'm
past we
saying.
would have did it as a joke, but now we're doing it like it's not a joke. This is serious now. Like, you know. I mean, I didn't even listen to the band until I was a 35 or 34-year-old man. You know what I'm saying? Like it took me this long just to listen to them, and then I'm like, "Fuck, man, I've been missing out. This shit is fucking awesome." Because that's the thing. It's like
watching videos.
it's
from,
like pro
the 90s,
wrestling.
and
You know what I'm saying? It's like pro
very.
wrestling. You know, it's like it's not for everybody. It's very nichey. It's very corny. It's very cheesy. It's very theatrical. But if you're into it, you're gonna think it's fucking awesome. And
there's a few.
I think
there's
it's
a few
fucking
videos,
awesome.
There's a few videos where literally like they suplex somebody or
Yeah.
like drop an elbow on somebody.
You should.
Like,
They played Woodstock 99. For some reason, it's like under the radar that they played. But on YouTube, their entire Woodstock 99 set, and they were like setting up tables and throwing people through tables and all types of crazy shit. Yeah, it was wild.
Okay.
Yeah, but like it's a whole thing. Like Woodstock didn't want them there, but the fans wanted them there, or something like that. So like
Hell yeah.
during their set, their audio's all fucked up and stuff, and the Woodstock crew doesn't care. So like I've watched the video several times, and like their backing track and what they're saying in the microphone like overlap. So like the songs are inaudible. You can't even like comprehend the songs, and like the Woodstock crew completely screwed them over, you know. But they still put on a hell of a show. It's a great video to watch.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I mean,
But-
as pretty much every performance from Woodstock 99 is.
Yeah, yeah. What a time to fucking be alive.
God, what a time.
But yeah, dude. So speaking of wrestling, we are both 2 diehard wrestling fans, and I've always wanted to ask you 2 simple things about wrestling. We can go into long detail about this if you want. You know, this is our podcast. We can do whatever the fuck we want. I got a burp. Ugh. Anyway, back to being a professional podcaster like I am.
Professional face.
So, what actually got you into wrestling, if you can remember? And then, the hardest question I got for you. I love when people give their top artists or top albums. We've done that before. But if you could give your top favorite wrestlers and give like a Mount Rushmore of only 4 of them, who would it be? Okay. But first, how did you get into wrestling? I'll give you time to marinate on the second question.
Okay. So, like we said earlier, we kind of had this discussion before and our audio and stuff got messed up. So, we are having to redo this. So, I actually kind of took this to my advantage and I asked some people.
You reiterated
how,
some things?
Well, no, I asked some people how I got into wrestling.
My legs are sweaty.
Legs are sweaty.
Yeah, it's gross. Anyways, there's no AC in this fucking room.
Oh,
yeah.
So I guess essentially what got me into wrestling as was a big influence in my teenage life was my uncle. So I guess going to his house or going to my grandmother and his house, when I guess it had to have been probably like 12, 13 years old, maybe something like that. And just watching, I guess it would have been probably like early WCW days, or not like WCW days. Not early WCW days. Probably like mid 90s WCW days. Like
okay.
Before, like, I guess before.
Was this like pre NWO era?
Like probably right before.
Okay, yeah.
Like right before that, I feel like is when I got into it. But a lot of what the influence came from, I'm sure, is the video games that I was playing at that time too.
Oh yeah, absolutely, dude.
Because that had a huge influence, and I just remember like the video games coming out on Nintendo 64, and that kind of changed. Like that got me into wrestling like even more.
Yeah, dude. Revenge, dude. Holy shit. WCW NWO Revenge is one of the greatest wrestling video games ever. And it's so unsung. I hate that people don't mention it when they mention greatest wrestling games ever. Dude, for the time that came out, that game was fucking amazing.
Well, so there was the one before it was WCW versus NWO World Tour.
World Tour, yeah.
World Tour. Like, dude, that game, when that game came out, like I remember seeing it at like KB Toys.
Yeah.
And just being like, holy shit. Because
it's weird. It's weird.
Graphics are amazing.
It's weird, like the pop culture influence that wrestling had on the world. It's
oh yeah.
It's not even. Not. It doesn't even exist anymore. Like wrestling.
Well, I think
was
it's just in another level now.
It is now. It's more of a niche. Now it's more of like but like. Wrestling in the 90s was like shoved down your throat. It was in commercials, it was in ads, it was in magazines, it was on billboards, it was in every fucking store. Like when you go to toy stores, the wrestling aisle was like wall to wall, like 3 lanes of nothing but wrestling fucking gear. You know what I'm saying? Wrestling clothes were at Walmart, they were at Target, they were everywhere. Like wrestling was unavoidable back in the day, and like wrestlers were on talk shows. They were on Arsenio Hall. They were on Regis and Kelly, or not Regis and Kelly. Regis and Kathy? Who was she? Was it Kathy?
No, Regis.
Before Kelly. It was Kathy Lee Gifford, right?
Yeah, Regis and Kathy.
Yeah. But no, like wrestling was fucking, it's not like that anymore,
Yeah. I mean, I think it's getting to a level.
I think it's starting to come back. You're right. It is starting to get back that way.
Like Cody, not even just Cody Rhodes, but like even bigger. Like think of like how like The Rock essentially like then it came into like John Cena, and now it's kind of like switching to like Cody Rhodes, but we're seeing even more people like like Liv Morgan's out there doing stuff, and like there's people that are actually like like out doing things that maybe normal wrestlers wouldn't do, like talk shows and morning shows, and like like Seth Rollins is doing stuff with like football and like all
dude,
this
I want to say
like,
this. A lot of people hate on that dude. I fucking love Seth Rollins.
Oh, I do too.
I do.
Hell yeah,
I'm a big Seth Rollins guy. And what got me into Seth Rollins is, I've told you before, a couple of years ago, there was a video of him circulating online where he was at a Parkway Drive concert. And I'm not the biggest Parkway Drive fan, but it's metal adjacent. And I love when people are into the metal scene, And there was a video of him in the pit of Parkway Drive, like pushing people around, getting there, singing along to every word, like fucking putting his arm around, people in the crowd and like yelling the fucking words. And I've also seen videos of him backstage wearing like a Day to Remember hoodies and stuff like that. So when I found out that he's just, he's one of us, he's one of the boys, he's part of the scene that we come from, at least scene adjacent, and he just happens to be really into professional wrestling, like he's one of us. That's what got me really into Seth Rollins.
Yeah, that's why, like, okay, so mentioning, like, him being into the music that he's into. So, like, as much as him and CM Punk, like, like, they have this feud. Like, they've been feuding for years, and, like, all this shit's always
Which I can't tell if it's real or not. I cannot tell if they're that good at working or if they really just fucking hate each other.
No, dude. I feel like these fools are fucking homies. Like,
you think so?
Dude.
Yeah.
Okay. Like,
But a lot of the shit that Seth has been saying, you can tell comes from a real personal place.
I mean, yeah. I mean, which also, like, he has his points, too. Like, CM Punk just dipped on
He
the
did just
WWE. Like,
Yeah.
Seth Rollins isn't wrong for saying what he's saying. But I feel like just like in the music alone, like, just like, you know, like the music that they probably grew up on in like that kind of genre of music.
Oh yeah, it's got to be similar.
They have to like.
Oh, I just saw for the first time. I saw that right here on his arm, CM Punk behind the Pepsi logo. He's got a Minor Threat tattoo right there.
Oh, sick! Hell yeah!
The little black sheep, the out of step sheep. He's got it right here.
Ah, okay. All
yeah,
right.
dude. So
I mean,
I was like,
it makes sense.
Yeah,
it makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I think like that's going to be a very fun match in WrestleMania because just seeing the three of them going and just beating the living hell out of each other, I think is going to be pretty amazing. I think that's going to be possibly one of the highlights of the two nights.
Well, it's just the chemistry they have. All right. So we're gonna take bets though. Over under or not over under? I guess you can't do it over under.
I don't know how to do that.
But do you think CM Punk's gonna get injured like he always does in every pay-per-view?
Injured? No.
Yeah.
No, but I do. I mean, I do think. I think somebody might get hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know. There's like I don't know if it'll be CM Punk because one, this is his first WrestleMania, and like this is his shit that he's been waiting.
Is this
for
his first WrestleMania
life.
or his first time headlining WrestleMania?
I think first time headlining. WrestleMania?
I think it's his first headline.
Okay, so first time headlining.
Yeah.
So like, I don't think he'll be the one to get hurt. Not intentionally. Now he could. What happened?
That's
last
what I'm
time
saying.
is,
That's what I'm saying. He always pulls his tricep or pulls his elbow or breaks his arm. Something. I mean, it's never intentional. But I'm saying he just has this streak of bad luck where every big match he gets hurt and he's sidelined for 3 months. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I honestly.
But also, he's like 43, 45, something like that. You know.
Yeah. Phil's getting old, dude.
Yeah, he is getting old, but he's great. What a great career he's fucking had.
Great career, and I mean, that's a reason why I could see him winning that match.
Yeah.
Like that's why I don't want him to win that match, honestly. Like I would rather Seth Rollins win. But even so, like Roman Reigns could win, you know. It's kind of wild because like if you think about it, like these dudes, like these three dudes have like they've been going at it for a fucking long ass time.
Yeah. And see,
like
Roman Reigns, I'm a fan of by default because I'm a Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket to the day I die, and he was a fucking unit when he played for Georgia Tech. So
he still is a fucking unit.
Oh, dude, you should have seen him play in college. You should watch his college highlights. Holy shit, he would run you the fuck over. So like
it's not hard to do. Period.
Well, dude, like he's big now, but he was massive in college. Like he wasn't all cut up and action figure looking. Like he was just fucking huge. He was just a big ass Samoan that played defense. Like he was
Roman
huge.
Reigns in real life looks like the video game version of Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
It is fucking insane when you see Roman Reigns on the screen nowadays. It's just like, dude, where are you? Like you fucking Samoans are just like.
Because he played for the Yellow Jackets, whether he's face or heel, I can't root against him, dude. That's one of my boys.
All right, so you're going for Roman?
I will always go for Roman Reigns. I will always go for Roman Reigns.
Acknowledge your tribal chief, dude.
I don't care who he's going against. If he was to go against Bret Hitman Hart, I would go for Roman Reigns.
Ooh.
And we both know Bret's my favorite wrestler of all time. So
okay, so also apparently rumor on the street because I guess WWE is allowing matches into the Hall of Fame now.
Yes, his match from WrestleMania 13 is going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Yep.
So that means Bret Hart is going to be at WrestleMania, bro.
Bret Hart's going to be at WrestleMania. Him and Stone Cold are both going to be there because that match is going to be forever in shining. Which to me, it's. I don't know if it's my number one of all time, but it's definitely in the top 5. You've seen that match, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, sure. WrestleMania 13, where Stone Cold never taps, but he passes out from the pain, and it's the infamous, blood from the forehead all the way down into his teeth when he's in the sharpshooter. Like, dude, insane match.
So, let me run this by you real quick. Let me see how this sounds in your head. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Stone Cold and Bret Hart
Mhm.
are both going to be in Vegas, right? They have to be for this thing.
Yeah, but
because
Brett can't wrestle. I know where you're going, but
Cannot?
Brett can't wrestle. He cannot wrestle.
Could he put somebody into a sharpshooter?
He could, but I feel like, and this is no offense to Brett, but Brett's a 60-year-old man who's not in the greatest shape anymore.
Okay,
I
okay.
feel like he could put somebody in the sharpshooter, but the person he's doing it to would have to be very giving.
Okay. Okay.
It's kind of like
So-
not to shit on the other guy as well, but you remember when Stone Cold went against KO like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Not the greatest match. Not the greatest match. A very entertaining match. Very entertaining. Did what
Very
it was supposed to do.
Very
But
entertaining.
it was probably a 1-star match.
All right. So, theory. And I'm going to in this okay, whatever. I'm just going to say it. All right. Because Stone Cold has pretty much said that if Cody Rhodes ever needs him, that he will be there. He will show up, right?
Yes. Yes.
Now, Cody Rhodes versus John Cena, WrestleMania, right? Okay. So, John Cena, the biggest heel right now of all time, okay? Going versus Cody Rhodes, what is going, I guess they're putting him up as the new biggest baby face, as Cody Rhodes is doing. So, what if Stone Cold comes out to help Cody, like he said he was going to, right? Because maybe The Rock gets involved or something to that nature, right? What if Brett, who was the biggest heel of his time, like...
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Okay,
He became heel.
you either loved him or
Well,
hated him.
He became heel with the Hart Foundation later on, but like you watch old, like he would do putting the sunglasses on the kids,
like,
everything.
Towards the end. Like
Okay.
towards the end.
Okay.
Towards the end. But I just feel like that could kind of be a cool thing because they're both going to be
No,
there.
that would be great.
I don't know. I mean, but thinking about it, I don't know because The Rock is going to have to be involved somehow, or the final boss, whatever. I
Dwayne,
don't know.
fucking Dwayne,
Dwayne. Damn it, Dwayne.
fucking Dwayne, dude. Okay, so you kind of touched on what I was going to ask you though. Do you have who are some of your favorite faces like of all time, and who are some of your favorite heels?
Okay. Well, what do you?
You need me to start? You need me to start? I mean, we can do
No,
tag
because
teams. We can do everything because the thing is, we started talking
No,
about
I
wrestling,
know.
and now,
Well,
like,
okay. We still have to address your second question though. Was the
we'll
Mount
get
Rushmore.
there. We'll get there
Which-
together.
But I feel like we could tie these in to this as well.
We could.
Okay.
We could. We could. But the thing is, there's so many favorite wrestlers that it's hard. You know what? We're going to do another wrestling episode after this. Let's go ahead and get to the Mount Rushmores because we could talk about this for 2 hours.
Yes, we could.
And I still haven't even told everyone how I got into wrestling, so we're going to have to save that for another episode. Because
Exactly.
we had a lot to talk about, dude. And like we haven't even got the current wrestling yet, dude.
Well,
like what the fuck? Actually, we kind of just talked about nothing but current wrestling. So
Yeah, that was all modern wrestling.
that's all we were fucking talking about. All right. So,
Yeah, right.
so you go first. You go
A little
first.
tie-in of old, but
You go first. What's your Mount Rushmore?
all right. First one, number one. Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I'll go ahead and I guess my all-time favorite wrestler, I guess of all time, Jeff Hardy.
Okay.
That's number
Okay.
one. Number one.
Do you like his music?
Oh hell yeah! Oh
Yeah?
like his modern music.
Yeah, the music he makes.
I can honestly say I don't know if I've ever listened to it. Even like on Instagram, like I don't know if I've ever listened to it. Honestly,
Well, I'll tell you, it's no Insane Clown Posse.
is it well, that's Brother Nero, right?
I don't know if he performs under Brother Nero, but if you go to his Instagram, you can see him performing music quite often.
Okay.
So,
All right.
although I will say he took his daughter on Instagram, he took his daughter to a Deftones show recently, which I thought was really cool. But of course,
did
he's
see
a
that.
Deftones fan. Of course, he's a
did see that,
Deftones fan. Like, if somebody's like, "Hey, Jeff Hardy really likes the Deftones," I'd be like, "Yeah,
No.
yeah, duh." Yeah, of course he does. Have you seen him? Look at him. He looks like a Deftones concert walking down the street. Like, yes. Yeah, he likes Deftones.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I could totally see that. All right. Give me your number one.
My number one
Number one.
on my Mount Rushmore? Well, yeah, I just said him, Bret Hitman Hart. My favorite wrestler of all time. Of
Okay.
all time.
All right. That's okay.
Of all time. I was the biggest Bret Hitman Hart fan as a kid. I still am today. I don't know what it is about him. I don't know. I do know what it is about him. Watch his fucking matches as a wrestling fan, not as a kid, not as this is a bad guy versus good guy. I don't care if he was a heel, if it was Hart Foundation, if it was early days. Just watch his matches. There is nobody who understands wrestling psychology and wrestling technician and the way to perform moves and make the crowd understand what is going on in a wrestling match better than him. And it can be as simple like he could do the whole armbar gimmick where him and the fucking opponent are just doing arm bars back and forth on each other. He could make it last 10 minutes and it would be the most engaging 10 minutes you've ever seen. And he's doing one fucking move.
Great.
Like he's the greatest wrestling technician that ever fucking lived. Second to him is his brother Owen, who, rest in peace, died way too fucking young. Owen was on his way to being better than Bret.
Oh, yeah.
And
for sure.
It's wild for me to say that, but he was on the way to be better than Bret. And I think Bret would even attest to that. But because Owen didn't make it as long as he did, in my opinion, Bret Hart is the greatest wrestler of all time. And I will argue until the cows come home. I don't give a fuck. You can make your points. You can do whatever you want. You're not going to change my fucking mind. Bret Hart is the greatest wrestler. He's not a high flyer. He doesn't do all the flippy shit that's on it. But when it comes to wrestling,
he's a technician, dude.
When it comes to professional wrestling, telling the story in the ring, getting the crowd over, getting your opponent over, making it believable, he is the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be.
Hey.
But on to number 2.
All right, number 2. I guess we already talked about him. I guess number 2 would probably have to be Stone Cold for me.
Okay, hell yeah.
As like, I don't know. I feel like he was one of the main reasons. And actually, here, I'll go ahead and say my 2 and my 3 because this is probably some of my most fond memories when I watched wrestling and probably like the best time in wrestling that probably could ever be considered. The Attitude Era, I guess, around that time. So my 2 and 3 would probably be Stone Cold and The Rock.
Okay.
Because that feud and what was happening around that time.
That feud was a lot of fucking fun. I've watched multiple documentaries on that feud and it's so fucking fun.
And the shit that those guys would say
and
to
that's
each other.
Also, like I was saying earlier, that's when wrestling was at the top of the world. That's when WWF had its own building in New York and its own restaurant and its own fucking hotels and all this shit.
There.
Like, dude, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it was wild because, like, there was definitely, like, I mean, especially that time, like, Stone Cold and The Rock were fucking everywhere.
Yeah,
like
everywhere.
Like you
and
said,
it was
like,
also one of those things like you had to pick your side. Like you were either a Rock guy or a Stone Cold guy.
For sure. And definitely
no in between.
If you would have asked me this around that time, I definitely would have said probably The Rock.
Yeah.
But as I've
me too. When
older,
I was a kid, I was a Rock guy.
Yeah. Oh, big time. But
I also think it's one of those things. It's one of those things, like I asked you earlier, who's your favorite heel, who's your favorite face? They were both at the same time because to certain people they were heels, to certain people they were faces, and they both played both characters simultaneously at the same time. They were playing heel and face characters at the same time individually. They were both of those. So you either were with them. Yeah, you were either with them or you weren't. So they were either a heel to you or they were a face to you. They were playing both of them at the same fucking time. But the problem is they were both faces. They were both over,
way over. Like that shit. I mean, some of the moments of that feud and like
are etched in my memory for fucking ever.
My God.
Forever, dude.
Like, and not only like, even if you get into like whatever, there was a guy involved around that time as well. We don't have to say his name. He was kind of like the owner of the company and shit,
Yeah. That guy.
That guy who was highly involved.
Shane McMahon?
Yo, okay. if moments, okay, look. Yes, this Stone Cold and Bret Hart moment match, whatever, can be in the Hall of Fame, whatever.
Dude, Vincent Stone Cold, that feud. Holy shit.
Okay.
Holy shit.
I was going to say fucking who was the match? What was it? Shane O'Mac when he gets
Okay.
up on the top of the fucking rafter.
That was him and Steve Blackman.
Steve Blackman. I wanted to
Yeah.
say Ken Shamrock for some dumb
No,
reason.
no, no.
But
It was
yes,
him and
Ken Blackman.
But he
Yes,
also
dude.
had another incredible match against Kurt Angle. Like, dude, Shane put it on, dude. Shane left it all in the ring. Shane
Heater
was
matches,
fucking
dude.
incredible, dude. And I
Great
think he had
matches.
to. I think he had to prove himself because, like, yeah, my dad owns this company. Everyone
Yeah.
thinks I'm just a nepo baby, but I'm gonna. And he would. Dude. He didn't invent the coast to coast, but he put that shit on the map. Jumping diagonally across the ring from one post to another.
Yeah.
Dude, he's insane. And the risks he would take, he wasn't scared of a fucking thing.
No,
You know, so
dude, that's
he had
what I'm
balls.
saying. Like there's some moments that like he should have some if these Hall of Fame things are gonna happen.
Yeah.
But
I'll ask you
that'll
this
probably
though.
never happen.
Are you surprised that the Stone Cold Bret Hart match is the first one inducted and not the Mankind Undertaker Hell in the Cell? Because I feel like pop culturally more iconic, like everybody knows about that Hell in the Cell match. Everybody.
Yeah, I will say, I will say I was surprised at that being the moment, but at the same time, like, I don't know if I would have put the Hell in the Cell match either. Like,
No?
I mean, dude, like I said, like, there were so many matches during the Attitude Era like that.
You know what match I would put in first? Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, Halloween Havoc. That would have been the very first match I put in there.
I was watching this little thing on Instagram, and it was like Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero's like when they had a tag team going.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, some of those moves when Eddie would just straight throw Rey up on just bro.
Dude, speaking of which, there's
Come
this match, and it was an indie match. I forget the fucking organization, but it's a 3-way dance: Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, and CM Punk. I think I've tagged you in Facebook in it before, but if not, I'll find it and I'll send it to you tonight. Incredible fucking match, and I think it was done in like a high school gym or something. It was an indie corporate lab. It was a small fucking it was a small venue, indie fucking organization. But yeah, CM Punk. It might have been a tag team. There might have been someone else, but I think it was a 3-way match. But I know that Ray, Eddie, and CM Punk were in the fucking match. Okay. And this is long hair CM Punk.
Yeah. Long hair, Phil.
So my number two.
Yep.
My number two is none other than Stang.
Hey, okay.
So, growing up in Georgia, WCW boy, wrestling was kind of forced on me. I didn't really have a choice. Like, my earliest memories in my life are me, like, 2 or 3 years old in my room having, like, a fucking wrestling ring play set with, like, Ultimate Warrior and all those guys. Like, you could ring the actual bell and stuff. Like, I was too young to even pick what I wanted, but these were the toys I was given. This is what fed to me. My dad, big time wrestling fan. Me and my dad don't get along. You know, hot take. We don't care for each other too much. But
we've already discussed that.
But he was a big time wrestling fan, and his mother, who ironically was a fucking angel and one of the sweetest ladies I've ever met in my entire life, and I miss her dearly. She died when I was 17 years old. Think about her all the time. Love that lady. She was so fucking kind to me, an angel amongst humans. Great woman. She was very much into wrestling, but she was into like Dusty Rhodes and Ted DiBiase and like fucking like old school wrestling, like back in the territory days. Like she lived for that shit. So they're from South Carolina. I grew up in Atlanta, where Atlanta in the 90s, every day of the fucking week there was a wrestling event going on. If it wasn't WCW, it was some indie thing, like every single day of the week. And WCW was at the Georgia Dome like twice a fucking month. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then before that, the Omni. But the Omni was kind of before. I don't remember when the Omni went away.
And even before that, they'd have it in the CNN Center.
But I'm too young to remember that. I didn't go.
Yeah.
I didn't go to any of that. It was primarily at Georgia Dome when I was a kid. Yeah. I don't even remember the Omni being a thing because it went away when I was so fucking young. And it's a hotel now, isn't it?
No, now it is. Oh, God damn it. Anyway.
Is the building even there?
Yeah. Well, it's
the building's still there.
No. They tore it down and rebuilt, but it's
okay. And then from Eric Bischoff's podcast, I learned that WCW used to be shot at Center Stage. Also,
yeah.
So Center Stage, CNN Center, Georgia Dome, Omni, all that shit within like a 3-mile radius. That was WCW. You know, so because of that, Sting was the icon. Sting was the WCW guy, and I grew up. I mean, Surfer Sting was kind of a thing when I was really little, but I really grew up in the Crow era Sting. You know, the good guy facing the bad guys, and that's what I like so much. I like the darkness of it, the fucking hiding in the shadows and the rafters. It was just so engaged to me. It was so cool to me.
The copyrighted paint.
Yeah, and on top of that, he's not a bad wrestler. Like, in all honesty, if Brett's number one, Sting might be number two. Yeah, I mean, Sting made it all the way up to what, age 63, 64 before he had to retire, because he never sustained that bad of injuries, because he's just that fucking good at what he does. And even at 63, he was jumping off ladders and putting 3 people through tables and stuff. Like, dude, he's fucking amazing. He's the fucking man, dude.
Last match.
Like, look at the shape of bodies of all these other icons, and look at how well he kept himself in his 60s. And don't get me wrong, he was still a pro wrestler. He was still going through all the shit, but he took care of himself. He was well conditioned, and he knew what he was doing. He was that consummate of a professional to where he knew, I can do this and keep going. I can take care of my body. I can keep going, because he was that fucking good. Like, look at a Bret Hart match. Look at a Sting match. They're almost identical. So fucking good at what he does. So because of that, Sting is my number 2.
Yeah, Sting is definitely, like, I think I had a list, as I always do. Whenever I have a list, I have like a mini list of like honorable mentions, or like people that might not make the top, blah blah blah, whatever. Mm-hmm. Sting is definitely on that list for me as like top people, like for sure.
Since you've only got one left, I'll go ahead and say my number 3, which is Rey Mysterio Jr.
Hell yes.
It's just something about when I was a kid, seeing the masked luchadors fly around, and then there was the littlest of little guys fucking putting work in on people. And then, like I said, the Halloween Havoc fucking match against Eddie Guerrero might be the best wrestling match of all time. It literally might be. When Ray is in all the purple, I don't want to get the year wrong. I think it's 96, but it might be 97. Fucking insane match. Like I said, he's somebody he's got to be in his 50s by now, who's still out there doing it, still knows what the fuck is up. So yeah, because of that, I've always loved Rey Mysterio, and he's definitely got a spot on my Mount Rushmore. So with that,
shout out to Rey Mysterio for always having the cleanest 450 splash back in the day, dude.
Dude.
Rey's 450 back in the day. Whew.
Oh yeah.
Magic.
Oh yeah,
magic.
But really for me, it was the fucking. I didn't know what a Hurricane Rana was until I saw Rey Mysterio just doing Hurricane Ranas left and fucking right. You know,
off of everything,
and then the Hurricane Rana set up into the 619 when he got into the WWE. Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I've seen him miss the 619 before, though. It can be very funny when he doesn't land it.
Sadly, I've seen him miss it a few times.
I've seen him go straight out of the fucking ropes into the fucking barricade.
Yeah, dude. Oh yeah, it's no. But anyway.
But you know what? He's landed a 619 more times than I have. So
more than anybody, I would hope.
All right, but yeah, we're at the final one for you. So, and while you're saying yours, I'm gonna have to sit here and pick between like 2 or 3 guys.
Yeah, I mean, this was definitely. I mean, it was very hard, but at the same time, it's not very hard, because we were talking about earlier how, like, I don't know if we could put like modern wrestlers or stuff into this kind of thing. Like,
you can do whatever you want, dude.
Rushmore. But at the same time,
this is your podcast too, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, like, I don't think I would be watching wrestling nowadays if it wasn't for this dude. Like, I don't think I would have even paid attention or given a shit about what was happening nowadays. And I was into him a little bit in his AEW days when all that kind of stuff was happening and all that kind of thing and everything was happening. But really, when he came back to the WWE and turned into the fucking champion that he is now, is when I really got into him. So number 4 for me, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
There you go. I knew it.
Yeah. I mean, I think everybody that knows me, or
AKA Stardust,
even well, yes, AKA Stardust,
which I've seen him try to not claim Stardust recently.
I mean, he says it's like his, like, I guess his dark time or whatever it was.
Oh,
but what's crazy is, so you know how we were talking or the other day, you know how WCW, I guess, on YouTube now is free.
Yeah, it's completely there.
Shit.
They have everything.
Yo, So I was watching a match literally tonight as I was cooking dinner, and it was the American Nightmare Dusty Rhodes in WCW matches.
You mean
and I was
Dustin?
like,
Dustin.
Dustin Rhodes. Rhodes. Yes.
But that's because Dusty was the American Dream. Their dad was the American Dream.
And that shit, dude, I completely forgot that whole thing happened.
Dustin actually made, Dustin had some crazy. So back in the early 90s.
He's still doing it.
Well, WCW was off the rails. They did. So I don't know if you've ever seen this.
So this match was in 2000.
There's this match that Dustin had early 90s. I forget who it's against, and it's going to bother me. But it was a match that took place on the highway. They were in the back of a semi-truck with like an open stake bed with hay, and they were having a fucking wrestling match. And I think the way you won the match was you had to climb out like onto the cab of the truck and grab like a flag or something like that. But yeah, Dustin Rhodes was in that match.
What?
I think it might have been at a Hog Wild pay-per-view or something like that. I'll have to remember. I'm usually really good at remembering this shit. But yeah, dude, like back in the early WCW days, dude, shit was out of control. It was just wild. It was also terrible. It was terrible fucking storytelling.
2000 uncensored match in a strap match with Terry Funk.
Oh, damn. That's actually probably pretty good.
I mean, from what I watched, it wasn't bad. I mean, they were beating the fuck out of each other with a cowbell.
Speaking of Terry Funk, the fucking Cactus Jack, Chainsaw Charlie days, that shit was unhinged, bro.
Like, okay, go back and watch like those ECW days, dude. And what
did
sucks
you ever?
is like,
did you ever see that match where the New Age Outlaws threw Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie into a dumpster and then pushed the dumpster off of the ramp like onto the fucking ground, like from the high ramp down? Dude, it's wild.
I'll have to. I'll go peep that one for sure. I will, because those ECW days. I wonder if because of like how WWE owns ECW nowadays. Mm-hmm. Like I wonder,
which I think they always did. Not to cut you off, I think they always did.
Really?
Because I think I've told you about this before. If you go back and look at episodes of Raw from like 94, 95, 96, something like that. Everyone thinks the invasion was in 2005, but really that was WWE invading ECW. If you look back, Jerry Lawler had a feud with Paul Heyman, and on episodes of Raw, Paul Heyman would bring in ECW wrestlers to wrestle Jerry Lawler, but also ECW wrestlers would have their own matches on Raw. And it would be like, these wrestlers wrestle in ECW, and I think Taz was on it. I think RVD was on an episode. Like, so I don't know if WWE always owned them, but I think they always helped fund them in a way.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I'll have to look into it. But it blew my mind because I like watching old wrestling. That's a lot of times how I start my morning.
Yeah.
So I remember one time just randomly putting on an old episode of Raw, and I was like, why are these ECW guys on here? And then Paul Heyman came out in his ECW gear and everything. And then Paul Heyman and Jerry Lawler got into it. So there was a brief period of time, sometime in like the early to mid 90s, where ECW was appearing on WWF.
Oh, okay. I mean, it honestly wouldn't surprise me if that was the case, because I feel like Paul Heyman has always had an affiliation with the WWE.
Yeah, he started out in WCW. He was Paul E. Dangerously, and he was a manager.
Yeah.
So when I think he got fired from WCW and started ECW, and I mean, anything that's a competition against WCW at the time, Vince would have wanted to have his hand. So I don't think he owned ECW, but I think he helped Paul get it off the ground.
Yeah. It was probably like a 70-30 kind of relationship.
Something like that. Yeah.
I mean, I would get that. And obviously, like, the things we've seen in the interviews and the things that we've heard nowadays, like, I'm definitely sure Vince did not want any, especially as good as ECW was, like, in the talent that ECW had back then. Jesus Christ, dude.
But you also got to think, too, a lot of ECW talent was, like, recycled WWE talent,
True.
Are guys that left ECW and went straight to WWE. So there had to be some kind of hand in the jar there.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny too that, like, so you mentioned RVD earlier. You can't mention ECW and not mention RVD
or Sabu.
or Taz,
or Taz, or the
or
Dudleys.
Sandman, or the Dudleys. But the RVD in particular was
Tommy
another
Dreamer.
one, dude.
Sorry.
No, you have to. You have to say these things. They do, or they were crucial parts of ECW. But
And poor
RVD
Tommy
is
Dreamer,
another
man.
one on that list that for sure was on the honorable mention.
Oh yeah, dude.
Like,
RVD's the
RVD's
fucking man.
God.
And I learned from a podcast today that he got all of his shit airbrushed in Savannah, Georgia. Like that's how his.
Did you watch the
fucking
CVV interview?
Yeah, of course I didn't
Dude,
watch it. I don't watch. Okay, so I wasn't when we first started this podcast. I wasn't even keen to doing videos because I don't watch podcasts. I listen to them. But then I learned that there's a huge percentage of people that like to watch them. So I was like, okay, what the fuck ever. Because I listen to a lot of I listen to more podcasts than I do music. But when it's when I'm working out or if I'm driving or something I never like sit there and watch a podcast.
Yeah, I mean that's the main. His podcast is the main one I watch.
Even his, and it does get irritating sometimes because it'll be like, "Oh, watch this video. Look at this spot," and I'm like, "Well, I can't because I'm fucking driving."
Yeah. Because I don't want to say I religiously watch his podcast, but
dude, at the same time, it's because I got 3 kids. When I'm at home, I don't have time to sit down and watch a 3-hour podcast. I don't.
I mean, the only reason I do is when I'm cooking dinner. That's the only time I watch shit. But that's really all. All right. Hit me with your last. You got one more.
All right, I got one more, and I'm not going to give any explanation as to why. I'm just going to say their name, and that's going to be it. So, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Hey.
All right. Well, I guess it's about time to get out of here because it's getting late, and I still want to play some fucking video games before I go to bed. So... With that
was our Mount Rushmore, ladies and gentlemen.
That was our Mount Rushmore.
Our top 4.
You know? And if you want to tell me yours, that's great.
By all means. Hey, leave it in the comments. Let us know what you think.
I won't read it, but you can tell me.
I will. I'll read it. If people want to leave what their top 4 is, I'll read that shit all day. We can talk all day.
Also, if you have any questions or anything you want to send into the podcast and have us answer on air, you can email to them just for us to never read or never answer.
Damn.
No,
I'll
I'm just
read
playing.
them. I'll do it.
No. I'm playing because that's actually something I would like to start doing. So we can start doing listener questions. I feel like that'd be a lot of fun. Just to get emails from Charlie's mom because she's our biggest fan.
Hey, shout out Charlie's mom.
Shout out Charlie's mom. I know she's listening right now. But anyways, yeah. So let's get out of here. I'm glad you're healthy. I'm glad you're with us. We're going to get back to our regular routine. I'm glad to be back. A lot of exciting things are coming this way. But yeah, let's end this, dude.
All right. So everybody, you know the drill, or even if you don't, you can follow us on YouTube at This, That, and the Other with Joey and Ian. Again, that's This, That, and the Other with Joey and Ian. You can search us on all podcast platforms. It's This, That, and the Other with Joey and Ian as well. Again, This, That, and the Other with Joey and Ian. If you want, follow us on Instagram. And please follow us on Instagram as Joey's dying from a stink bug in the background. Anyway, on Instagram, it's TTATO Podcast ATL. Again, TTATO Podcast ATL. And again, thank you again, everybody, for listening. Thank you for everybody that reached out. Thank you, everybody, for being a part of this so far. It's only going to get better. I don't know about Joey's night as he deals with a stink bug, but thank you again, everybody.
I flicked it off somewhere. I don't even know where it went. I think I went down the vent.
Oh, God.
Fucking asshole.
All right,
Piece
everybody.
Of shit.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. What are you feeling tonight? Call of Duty or Fortnite?
Dude, new season of Fortnite. Let's get it.
All right, let's go.
Let's go.